Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Siddiqui Chebaye, and I'd like to continue our series on the difference between the Bible diet and the diet of today, or the eating habits of today. And you'll see that it was a vast difference. But a whole lot of different events happened from our beginning because in the beginning we were spiritual. And then God created human, the man out of the earth, the ground, the soil. And the first person was Adam. And Adam even means the ground, the earth, or the soil. So God breathed in it and made man, mind in the physical. And a lot of events happened during that process. And we have to understand that man, when he became disobedient, that's when all hell broke loose. And it's still going on today. We are carrying on our disobedience out of convenience, but we're not ready for the consequences. And when the consequences come, what do? We start blaming each other. That's a coward move. Man up, woman up, mind up. Own up to your own mistakes and correct them. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. That's all part of learning. But we became from a spiritual being to a physical being with a mind. And the first one was named Adam. Now, we got as far as the fourth chapter. We finished the fourth chapter, and we're on the fifth chapter of Genesis. Genesis means in the beginning. So let's go back to the last two verses of the fourth chapter in Genesis, and then we'll lead up into the fifth chapter of Genesis, and you'll see all these different events that took place that got us further and further away from our reality. We must understand cause and effect because for all causes there's an effect, and for all effects there's a cause. So we have to stop being dumbfounded. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I guess, and all of these cliches and all of that. We got to get rid of all of that. And we have to start knowing our reality and what happened so we can get back to mastering ourselves to become the gods that we are. And you will see that this is not a spooky thing. Again, God came on the scene. The word God, or the term God, came on the scene 7,000 years ago. There was no such term as God. So let's not be so spooky about that. There's 99 attributes to the Creator, and the Creator is one of them. So let's see what happened once man took his position in this world and became earthly. So we knew that Adam had two sons from Sarah, and he had two sons. From Eve, Adam and Eve, and it was Cain and Abel. And Cain slew Abel because he was jealous. He was hating him because he felt that God favored him, uh, favored Abel over him. So he slew Abel. And from that point on, God cursed the ground because Cain was the ground keeper. He tilled the soil, to grow everything. And that was a rough and tough kind of position there. But Abel, he tended the flock, the cattle and everything. And he brought the firstlings and the best of everything to God as an offering, and God was pleased. But he wasn't so pleased with Cain because he came from the lowest level, the ground level. So we're going to see a lot of things that really happened, and we got further and further away from our reality. Now let's look at chapter 4, verse 25 and 26. And what does it say? It says, and Abram knew his wife again. Now, knew must means that they had sex, intercourse, you know. So it says he knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called him Seth. So Seth came on the scene after Cain had slew Abel. And so it says in 26, and to Seth, to him also there was born a son. So Seth had a family also. So each one of them had their family, and this is where the families originated. It started from these points here in the Bible where we can see how everything kind of escalated and everything started moving further and further away from God. And it says here, and he called his, and Seth had a son, and he called him Enos. It says, then began man to call upon the name of the Lord. Wait a minute, let's analyze that a little bit. I mean, really, it says here, then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Now, was that the beginning of prayer? It makes sense to me. See, everything should make sense. Never be dumbfounded by saying, I don't know, I guess, and this and that. No. Use your God-given senses, the senses that God gave us. Use them. Never leave yourself open by saying, I don't know, because there is a cause for every effect. So let's understand the law of karma. The law of karma is cause and effect. So that was the beginning of prayer to me after Enos. Now let's go to chapter 5. This is the book of generations of Adam. Generations of Adam now. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. So Adam was actually God in the physical. Whoa. Let's pay attention to this, brother. Let's not get too spooked up about these old children eating, sweating preachers hollering and screaming and spitting sweat on everybody. Grunting like a pig or a hog, just to get the message over. And the message is the same every year, the same time, like we stupid. And we have to not allow them to play us like that. And that's why the scriptures say, study to show yourself approval and lean not to your own misunderstanding, really, but rightly dividing the word of truth. So we got to stop just reading and listening to somebody else and start doing our own work independently. Because each person should have a personal relationship with the Creator that's already within you. So each and every time you look in the mirror, there it is. Your image and the likeness. This is what it says. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Very plain. How did we miss that? Because we're so busy listening to these people who's controlling us. They're calling themselves religious leaders. Well, they might be religious leaders, but they're not spiritual leaders. That's different. So it says here that in chapter 5, verse 2, it says, male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day that they were created. Now, everybody was called Adam. Why? Because Adam means the ground. Adam means the earth. Adam means the soil. So man was created from the soil. God breathed the breath into the soil, and he named it Adam. So all of us are Adam. The nature of us is Adam. We came from the earth, but the essence of us is God. And we have to bring that forth. So now that we had all of these falls, now we have to pray. Prayer is something that's a fall of man, because there was no such thing as prayer. Why? Because we were a prayer. Live a prayer. Be a prayer. You can't get no closer than that to God. Just be. And it says here, and Adam lived 130 years, this is verse 3, and begat a son in his own likeness. So everything is in the persons before them likeness. So the ancestors, we are the ancestors in their likeness. We are God in the likeness of God, the image of God. Like I said, when you look in the mirror, there it is. But they taught us to hate that, the enemy. You'll never be nothing. You ugly. You're black and you're stupid and you don't know anything. We got to be careful with that. That's like cursing God. And we do a whole lot of things out of ignorance. But life doesn't excuse ignorance. That's why it gives you mercy and grace to give you an opportunity to correct yourself before it's too late. That's giving the benefit of the doubt. And that's what we owe each other. But we attack each other in a minute. But we got to calm our spirits down and know that we all been bit by the same dog that had rabies. So while we fighting each other, we should be gathering ourselves together to get that dog, so we can stop the poison from being spread. Okay, now I'm speeding it up now. Please be with me. Stick with me. I want to show you what happened along the way, the whys and the reasons. That's what we don't like. We don't like whys and reasons. Just tell me. That's all I want to do. Just tell me what it is. I don't even want to know the reasons and the whys, which is kind of crazy. So it says in here in 4, and the days of Adam after he had beget Seth were 800 years, and he beget sons and daughters. So that tells me that there was no such thing as time. No birthdays. Oh, this is my birthday. Oh, you got to give me a gift. And you got to give me all that stuff is Johnny come lately stuff. We had people down in the South where I'm from Virginia and deeper, they didn't even know their age. They were just living. There was only life. There was no such thing as time. Time is man-made. There's only life. So keep on living. And keep on being who you be. Keep the connection with God by praying. Since we had a fall, now we have to remember God instead of being God. These are some deep stuff now. Listen to what I'm saying. And you can check it out yourself and see that everything is everything. Some of us know. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but some people you can't fool at all. And just because I don't say nothing don't mean I don't know. That's old school. And we got to go back, Sankofa, and get what we left behind and bring it up and validate it. Because we turn into this new kind of being that is not godly. And that's why we are cursed. Anything that came from the ground is, it's cursed now because of what Cain did. Cain is the father of cursed people. And since he was the tiller of the ground, the soil, that's what we're made of, the soil. So we are cursed. So now we got to call on God. We got to seek the Lord now. And there's where prayer came in. Let's stick with it, brothers and sisters. Listen to what is being said. And that'll give you a leadway on checking it out for yourself. Thank God that he blessed me with the courage to go head on and say what I'm saying and do what I do. Because I'm a team player. It's not about me anymore. It's about the team. So let's go to chapter 5, verse 6. And Seth lived 105 years and beget Enos. And Seth lived after he beget Enos 807 years and beget sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Now, he died. That means that his body went back to the earth, and his 98%, the mental and the spiritual, it just transformed. You can't kill or destroy energy. It only transforms. So when we die, the body just goes back to the earth, but your mental and spiritual continues on, transformed into something else. I know some of you can't believe that or won't believe it because we've been deeply programmed with this slavery kind of a concept of what these preachers are doing today, because they sold their souls by making an agreement with the system of being non-profit so they can collect all the money and divide it up between themselves. And they faking us out and fooling us, because if you look at these churches, the average person in the church, all they do is suffer, angry, sick, frustrated, backbiting, two-faced. That's not spiritual. That's just being religious ignorantly, in an ignorant way, with attitude and emotions. There was no emotions until we became man. Then we start feeling and all that instead of just being. So I'm going to run down some things to you so you can see some series of how we fell. Each generation fell further and further away from our reality. And we must understand that. We need to understand really the power of cause and effect, which is the laws of karma. The law of karma, cause and effect. And it's the same, all laws are the same for everybody. That's why it's true. The truth is based on the same for everybody. It's been tested and proven through the ages to be the same for everybody. That's what makes it true. Facts change, but the truth doesn't. It's a fact that I'm talking to you right now, but later on I won't be. But the truth of the matter is we are here and we must represent and be grateful and humble. So let's go to verse 9. It says, and Enos lived 90 years and beget Canaan. And Enos lived after he beget Canaan 815 years and beget sons and daughters. That goes to show you there was no such thing as time. There was just life. They were just living. 900? Man, it would be a miracle if a woman can have a baby at 40, 45. We call that a miracle today. But back then, they were still babies. Check it out. We're at our lowest point right now. We got to step it up. We got to go Sankofa, go back and get it and bring it up and validate it. We left too much behind. Trying to be slick. Trying to be something that we're not. Trying to measure up to somebody else's standards who hate us to no end. And then, as a result, we start taking it out on each other, hating each other, disrespecting each other, talking this love stuff. How can love be real when you don't even respect anyone? Respect is the foundation to all relationships. So we have to give respect and then build love. And the stronger your respect, the bigger your love can be. And it says in 11, it says, and all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. Died again means he's transformed. His body went back to the earth, and his mental and spiritual went back to the universe to transform into another form. And I just want to go through these things, and we can even go, let's skip down to 28, 5, the first chapter of the 28. And Lamech lived in 182 years and beget a son. And who was his son but Noah? Now we're getting into some events that we're really familiar with. Noah and Noah's Ark and his 3 sons and his family. He took to build an ark, because God said, I'm going to destroy this earth right here. But he favored Noah out of everybody. He told Noah to get your family together, get all the animals, a male and female of each kind, and bring them and put them on the ark. But build the ark, a certain kind of way. Pitch, he said. The ark was pitched on the outside and it was pitched on the inside. What does pitch mean? Pitch is sort of like a petroleum jelly, a petroleum oily kind of substance that they put on wood, on pitched wood. So what happens is the term and the original color of petroleum is black. That's why the term came about, pitch black. You get it? Man, we're going to get some learning going up in here. I'm telling you. But don't be scared. Open your minds. Be open and flexible about learning, because it can be painful, because it's going to disturb your foundation that somebody else gave you, which is nothing. So let's go to 29. And he said his name, the name of Lamech's son was Noah. Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because the ground which the Lord has cursed. Now everybody is cursed now. Everybody who came from the earth, every human being is cursed. That's why they say you're born in sin. I can see that now. You're born in sin. But God will always call someone out of the group and give them an opportunity to qualify themselves to be a family member. But many are called, but few are chosen. Only the ones who are chosen are the ones who's qualified themselves. You can't fool life. You can't fool God. Be real. Be straight. Man up. Woman up. Mind up. Now, it also says here that in 31, it says, and all the days of Lamech were 707 and 7 years, 70 and 7 years, and then he died. Wow. 977 years? We can't even come to that conclusion at all. You're talking about 977. How about 77? We have a serious problem with that. So look at the falls that we've had tremendously every generation. And 32, it says, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Those were his 3 sons. And that's when he built the ark. God told him, get his family together. He's going to destroy the earth. The floods and everything will destroy everything. But Noah was obedient to God. God favored him. And he saved him by getting in the ark. The flood destroyed everything, but then everything calmed down and got back to the calmness. And that's when Noah and his family and all the animals that he took in came out. And this was the second round of life after God destroyed the first. So, but God gave Shem, Ham, and Japheth, he said, replenish the earth. Do all you can. It says here, and I don't, see, I'm rushing through this. I'm trying not to rush through this thing, but you can't give it all quickly because it's so important. I don't want to miss a beat. I want to give it to you in a series where you can see a picture. I want you to see the big picture of how we were spiritual and now we are earthly. Totally different mindset. And we have to get back to our reality, and we get back through our reality through each other. Unity. When you unify yourself with when the male unify with the male and female principle, that is God. That's why you can reproduce yourself. Man and woman produced themselves, created themselves. Just like man was created through God. Woman was created through man, and the children were created through the woman. See, that's structure. That's structure. But we are a very unorganized kind of people. And I just want to say that my purpose for doing these videos is to give you a leadway on how you can really get back to your reality by giving you raw food for thought. Now, we've got to go Sankofa. We have to redeem ourselves. And we have to transform and renew our minds. Now, when you're talking about Sankofa, that's a principle that you got to go back and get it and bring it up and validate it. Okay, now you have redemption. Redemption means what? That means that you have an opportunity to right your wrong. And transformation is to get back to your reality. And that's where we need to learn and to address those three things there. Sankofa, redemption, and transformation. So I wanted to go a little further, but I'm going to share with you some different events through Genesis to bring us to where we are today. And after that, I'm going to go and skip over to Daniel, the book of Daniel, and see that Daniel is an ancestor. And he kept his principles with God, his agreement with God, his covenant with God. Because Noah made a covenant with God, or God made a covenant with Noah, which is nothing but a contract or an agreement. And God favored Noah. So let's do all we can to be favored by the Creator, the Most High, God, Yahweh, Elohim, Allah, Buddha, whatever name you want to call them. It doesn't matter. They're just attributes of the same energy, the same spirit. Let's not get spooked up about that, because each one of us got more than one name. We're not spooked up about that. So let's understand. See, understanding can take the sting out of the pain that you have to go through to learn. But it's all good, because you can't beat the blessings. So with that in mind, brothers and sisters, we're going to go a little further in Genesis, and we're going to see how Abraham came on the scene. His name was Abram originally, then God changed it to Abraham, which is the father of all nations. And his wife Sarah was the mother of all nations. So we're going to get into the family now, because the family is the key. With that in mind, brothers and sisters, we need each other more than ever before, because when we come together, all of us as one is God. So let's promote unity as much as we possibly can. This is the time right now. Right now is all we got. Yesterday was history, tomorrow's a mystery. Right now is all we got. Not only is tomorrow not guaranteed, the rest of the day is not guaranteed. So let's not take life for granted, because time is man-made. Let's just go ahead on and live, and let the chips fall where they may. With that in mind, brothers and sisters, I pray that you got something out of this video, and we're going to continue on until we get to the end of the Daniel's diet, and we're going to see the whole journey of how we had tremendous falls, and we need to regroup. That's why the things are happening today. They're signs. Everything is a sign. So take heed to the signs and get busy and get your balance. Brothers and sisters, I love you, I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. And remember to do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. Have a blessed day, a blessed week. Review these videos and read the scriptures and get more understanding. And that'll bring life into your journey. Have a blessing, brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings.